there. How you doing? How's your week been? It's been a crazy week, right? I need some lighting in here. One of my light bulbs is out. That's kind of a problem. It's a little dark. Is this gonna work? Sound check. If you guys could hear me, give me a thumbs up in the chat if you don't mind. That would be fantastic. And we got a few things to kind of go over tonight. I usually do some of these lives on Sunday, but tomorrow's Father's Day, and I'm not going to be going live on Father's Day. So if I can get a thumbs up in the chat, that would be great. I want to make sure I'm on a new device here. So I see Jody, PPP, Bruce Wayne, Go For Yourself, which is Puerto Rican Hammer. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wait here just a second. Get these illegals out, says Cheeky Chops. What's up, Cheeky Chops? Gina, what's up, Gina? So I'm assuming you guys can hear me, right? I think you can. Pedro, what's up? Whatever. What's up? Road safe, Corona 27. How y'all doing? Happy Saturday. There's a lot going on in the gig economy, in the world. I need another light back here. I didn't think it was going to be so dark, but we're upstairs right now. So, Ernesto, what up? Junebug, what's good? Andrew, Larry, get DoorDash customer service agents out. DoorDash driver mama, what up? Happy pre-Father's Day. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Pedro, what's with the Amigos mustache? With the mustache. All right, so obviously y'all can hear me. I see Handsome Hustler. What up, man? What up? All right, so this I want to go over kind of what I want to talk about tonight. I have a 5-minute audio video I want you guys to listen to. And listen, I know most people come to this channel for gig content, so I want to keep it partly to that, but then also I have things on my mind. But I got questions. And if you don't like my opinion, okay, if you like my opinion, you can use it. If you like my thoughts, use it. If you don't like it, you can lose it. It's okay. I want to say first, I'll post some questions and I'll put the chat up and read some chat messages. I love this country. I am a proud American. Two things can exist at the same time. I could say that. I can say that this country is the greatest country. I'm grateful to be born here, living here, work here. All my family is here in this country. I am grateful because I realize other parts of the country, hey, they got some great things and they also got some bad things, just like us. But I am grateful to be an American. The privileges that we have, even though there's things that aren't great, but the privileges and the freedoms that we have, that most of us have, some have more than others, are astounding. I'm amazed by it. It's great. And a lot of men and women had to fight for that, and I'm appreciative of that. Both of my grandfathers were in the armed forces. Both. My dad's dad and my mom's father. My uncle, Carlos, watches the channel sometimes, has my grandfather, his father's American flag that was folded up as his funeral in his home on his, what do you call it? Banister. I remember I was 11 when I went to that funeral. 12. I am a proud American, and I have family members that have served. I've never served, but that doesn't mean two things can exist at the same time. That doesn't mean I can't have criticism of some of the things that our administrations have done, current and past. I'm worried about the future. I want to talk about that from a gig worker response and lens, okay? How will it impact the gig economy? Could it impact the gig economy? There are a lot of undocumented, that's the word I'm going to use. If you're offended by it, it's because your IQ's low. Undocumented. That also means Americans. You know that there's Americans that are undocumented? If you don't have a driver's license, or if it's maybe expired, if you don't have the right whatever, you're undocumented. And there's all shapes, colors, and sizes that are undocumented in this country. Nobody is illegal. The legal system in this country has had a lot of fucked up things. There's been a lot of things that have been legal that have been really bad. So just because it's legal or illegal doesn't mean it's good or wrong. But I want some perspective tonight. And I want to listen too. I will listen. I will listen because I don't know everything. I'm not a historian. I'm not an economist. I'm a dude that lives in St. Louis, but I'm grateful to be an American and I can have an opinion and not be put in jail for it. But two things can exist at the same time. I want to have you listen to something, okay? And I heard it today. And it got me kind of thinking a little bit. Because I've been very vocal. I use this channel and I have a platform. This isn't a huge channel, but it's big enough. And if I can make somebody think, I don't ever want to make somebody think differently, but I love to have people do some research and pick up a book every once in a while and stop getting all their information from the news that's been happening today or last week or the last handful of years. I'm from Puerto Rico. There's a book that I'm going to tag in one of my videos coming up that I would love everybody to read about what happened to that island, how it was inhabited, and how it was raped and pillaged. I would love everybody to read that book, The History of Puerto Rico. So I do have a soft spot in my heart for people that look like me. I just do. And you should have a soft spot in your heart for people that look like you. You know, back in the 80s, 78 to like 92, when the Italians in New York were getting a lot of hate, the Italians marched the streets with their Italian flags in solidarity with fellow Italians, Italian Americans. Did we feel some way about that? Being proud to be Italian? St. Patty's Day is big in St. Louis. People have the Irish flags. They put them everywhere. Do people have a problem with that? I love y'all. And tonight I want to learn, but I also want to teach. And if I can make anybody just not rethink, not change your mind, but if I could just offer perspective, because I like to hear yours, because I have perspective. We are more similar than we are different. I've always thought and I've always said that. Most of us are good people that might do bad things. Most of us have, a lot of us, have broken some kind of law. Some of you are breaking the law right now. It's not a hot, buzzy law. It's not going to sell tabloid tickets. So nobody's knocking on your door about it. So I don't want to change mine, but I love to spark debate. I have plenty of things I can learn. Hit the thumbs up. Let's get this video out there. Because I want to teach some lessons, but I have an audio I want to share. Because I don't have my StreamYard was acting up, and I couldn't put the thing up to put it on the screen for you guys. But I can play the audio. It is 5 minutes, but we have time. If you're here, you have time. We're just sitting around. We're chilling. I hope everybody's safe. I hope everybody's having a great day. Happy early Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Let me say hi to who's here first before we continue. That's just my unscripted, just beginning right off the top of my dome intro to the video. I appreciate y'all. I see Ernesto, Handsome Hustler. Did you take rides? I know you're not talking to me. Jamal, I see Roy. What's up, Roy? I see Ryan. I see Kevin, Blazing Peach. I see Nail Tech. What up? What up? How y'all doing? Andrew, Cerberus. What's up? I see Jamal again. If you're here, say what's up. Drop a chat. The most talked about story in the last couple of days have been the ICE raids, the deportations, the parade today, 250 years, celebrating the military. Today's Donald Trump's birthday. They threw a $47 million parade. Not mad about it, but money could have been used for something else than throwing a party, but not mad about it. We don't know how to spend money here. It is what it is. I'm not going to shame somebody for celebrating the military. Okay, like I said, both of my grandfathers have served for this country. I get it. Two things can exist at the same time. You can be critical, and you can also be grateful. And if my opinions, if you like them, use them. If you don't like them, lose them, and keep what you like about me or this channel. But I have a platform, and I don't like to go to bed holding and festering resentment. Is not healthy for somebody like me. And I like to get things out. I also like to teach, and I also like to be taught. That book about the island of Puerto Rico, I should have linked it in the description, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. I want everybody to read that book. I'm going to make a promise to everybody right now. Anybody that wants to read the book, I will send you a copy of the book. If you want to read the book, go to my About section of the YouTube page, and I will send you a copy of the book. So when people talk about protesting, but then they say, oh, well, peaceful protest with quotations or a riot, it's not rioting. Protests aren't supposed to, they're supposed to be disruptive. Martin Luther King Jr. and his walk to Selma was disruptive. It was supposed to make people think. It was supposed to get attention. Now, if you're an idiot throwing bricks at ICE agents, like I saw one video, that's an idiot. That's an isolated situation. That's not normal. But the news wants us divided. If you're somebody here and you're a criminal, if you're undocumented, illegal, alien, whatever you want to call it, I got some scripture to read to some of you guys that talk about one thing, but you don't know what Jesus said. Anyways, I'm not going to. If you're somebody trying to physically harm other people, that's an unemotional response to the bigger issue. Those people should be locked up, should be deported. But Martha picking tomatoes is not the problem in this country. Let me repeat that. Martha picking tomatoes is not the problem in this country. And have you guys seen on the news, have you guys seen anybody from Poland, Canada, anybody from Korea, China, a Japanese person? Have you seen anybody being deported from those countries? No. If you have, tonight's the night to teach me. I have not seen it. I haven't heard about it. Haven't seen it. And we did 10 times the amount of deportations when Obama was in office. 10 times the amount. 10 times. 10 times the amount. We did it quietly. We did it with respect. We did it with honor and dignity, the way America should run business. The way we're running business right now is deplorable and embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Some of the things that Donald Trump does, I like. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not some lefty liberal. I don't believe that somebody that was born a man should play in women's sports. Okay, there's a lot of things that the right likes to push that I agree with wholeheartedly. Two things can exist at the same time. Logic and reason is lost right now, and the way we are treating human beings is disgusting. What was promised to many of you that are watching or listening later was that we were going to get criminals and murderers and drug dealers and rapists. Yes, those people need to go. 100%. But walking into factories, meat plant places in Nebraska, and getting rid of people in that way, we got to vet it. There should be due process, and I'm hopeful that there will be. However, that's not what you voted for. I got a video I'm going to play for you guys in just a second. Let me get these thoughts out, and I'll read some comments. America is shaky right now. Politicians in Minnesota murdered, 2 murdered, and another 2 seriously wounded. A guy that was pretending to be a police officer. This is crazy, and I'm worried. How does it impact the gig economy? I don't know. We as gig workers have no rights. We're not paying into any taxes, Social Security. Like, it's bad for us already. And a lot of people that do this work, unfortunately, they're undocumented. So it could be beneficial for some of us that have a license and have a Social Security number attached to our account that's ours, because maybe if mass deportations happen, like some people want, maybe we'll make more money. That could be good, I guess. But I'm going to say this very loud and clear. I'm okay with making the same, if not a little bit less, if that means other human beings can eat. I'm okay. I'm fine with it. Let me read something to you guys real quick. Let me see where I can pull it up on this phone. Let me say hi to you guys real quick. The 60s had more turmoil. We survived. We will make it through this. The 60s were jacked. Kennedy's assassinations, a fake moon landing, Dr. Martin Luther. I mean, the 60s were wrecked. But right now, in some ways, I think it could get worse. But I don't know, because we're more distracted than ever before. Then we weren't as distracted, so I think it was okay. We're more distracted now than in the 60s because of these devices that we have in our hand. I hope I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Gig-wise, what up? 76% of the migrant people are Mexican. That's why you mainly hear about the Mexicans getting deported. Fair. And I think when we say undocumented, illegal, or whatever, you think of a Mexican. Period. That's the first thing that pops in your head, right? That's what it is. But a lot of those people, they're not the ones really doing the crime. The sex traffickers and all that kind of stuff, some of it's Hispanic. It's also a lot of Asians. A lot. The drugs coming in this country is not just from Mexico. The Russian mob, the Europeans, the Armenians. We don't want to talk about that, though. Nope, we don't talk about that, right? Why not? Why are we singling out a group of individuals in Omaha, Nebraska, and LA? It's weird. But what you have to understand about Donald Trump is, and I didn't like Kamala. No, that was worse for other reasons in some ways. But what you got to understand is he's an egomaniac and he's smart. And he knows he's pandering to the fear and to a base. Anyways. Is that Trader in the house? What up? All right, I want to read something to you guys real quick. Y'all know me. I surrendered my life to God. I don't know. I guess it was 3 months ago. No. Yeah, 4 months ago. I'm going to read something to you. And this isn't meant to shame or like whatever, but since, a lot of the people that are like, yes, ICE, we love this, get this country back, we want this country back, get rid of all the illegal aliens, get rid of all these undocumented, whatever language you want to use, get rid of the people that don't belong here, that didn't do it the right way. I get it. I'm not necessarily against that because we got to take care of Americans. We got homeless vets on the streets. Nobody should be homeless. Like, it's ridiculous that's even a thing. The amount I see in St. Louis, and I was in Skid Row, LA, 3 years in a row. I mean, it's crazy out there. I was in Brooklyn last September. It's crazy over there. Like, I get it. We got to take care of ours. But there are programs, and some people take advantage of them, some don't, some people, But a lot of the people that are also very pro-Trump and wear the red hats, they're Christians. A lot of them. Is that a fair assessment? Let me read you something. Because, when a foreigner resides among you in your land, do not mistreat them. The foreigner residing among you must be treated as your native born. Love them as yourself, for you were foreigners in Egypt. I am the Lord, your God. Let me read it one more time for everybody in the back that can't comprehend. I can keep going. There's several things I could read. Leviticus. And I'm not some Bible thumper. Okay? I don't believe everything I don't rock with. There's some stuff in there that it's harder to apply to today's time. However, if you're some MAGA Christian and you're like, when a foreigner resides among you in your land, do not mistreat them. Now, listen, some of the foreigners that come here, maybe they're mistreating their privilege here, because it's privilege to be an American. Two things can exist at the same time. But most are not. They're not rapists and criminals and drug lords. Okay? An American and the CIA, they have a hand in getting the drugs here. Okay? Open a book, look at some things. Okay? They're not just coming over here. They're having help. They have help by the CIA, your elected officials. They have help. Thank you for the $3, Jim. Thank you. First super chat of the night. I thought I was going to have to pay y'all to watch, because this ain't what most of y'all are here for. But I have a platform, and if I have it in my heart, I'm going to say it. I don't ever want to go to bed saying I should have done something. When a foreigner resides among you in your land, do not mistreat them. We are mistreating some of those people. Not all, but we're mistreating some. It's an abuse of power. The Constitution is not being respected right now. When a foreigner resides among you in your land, do not mistreat them. The foreigner residing among you must be treated as your native born. Love them as yourself, for you were foreigners in Egypt. Everybody that has a problem with what I'm saying, or the problem with somebody that's an illegal alien being here, the word alien is actually in the Bible as well. But it doesn't support your ideas. It's contrary to them. It's funny because when we talk about Americans, you can say you're American, right? Very few people that live here are Native American, true Americans. Very few. Myself included, and you. There's only 123 of y'all. None of y'all are American in that sense. Nobody. So stop. It's funny because you can say you're American, but you don't have to have anything in front of it. But a black man, some black men and women, I'm African American. I'm Chinese American. I'm Irish American. You don't hear Irish American. They usually say I'm American. I'm Mexican American. No, you're either American because you were born here. If you're born here, you're American. I don't care what your mom and dad did to get you. If you're born on the soil, you're American. There are some people that are undocumented that act more American than some people that are on food stamps for the last 20 years with eight baby daddies and an EBT card, but their nails and hair are done every week. But they're raping and pillaging the government. But you get the Mexican carpenter on the roof. You get Martha picking tomatoes for 20 years instead of going into the CEO's office and saying, hey, the I-9s, what's going on? You didn't vet these people? No, they knew they didn't have proper documentation. Even if it's a fake ID, come on. There's processes in place. I worked at Applebee's. I know what a fake ID looks like. Trust me. Why is it that some people think this country is only for them? Why? This country is a land of immigrants built on the backs of people that were not here, that were brought here. Power gets to some people's heads, and it saddens me that we don't know the history. We only think about what's happened in the last 40 years or 5 days. But we don't open a book. We won't even open the Bible to look at what Jesus said. We won't even do that. People won't do that. And I get it, times are different. But either you believe or you don't believe. Leave Martha alone. And let's go after the head of the snake. The head of the snake is parts of the government, not all people in it, but government, BlackRock, the powers that be, Wall Street. I'm going to play this audio real quick because he says it better than I can. It's 5 minutes. Spare another 5 minutes with me. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. I appreciate that, Jim. Thank you so much, man. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind, but I want to learn too. I want to learn. I do. Two things can exist at the same time. We can be a proud American. I don't sound Puerto Rican American. I am American and proud of it, even though America fucked my land, my island. And please email me. I'd love to send you a book with all the facts within that book of how my island was raped and pillaged of our identity. Some of y'all don't know. Maybe some of you do. So I stand with anybody that wants to protest peacefully. I stand with it. And if you're being disruptive, you're blocking a roadway, as long as you're not throwing bricks at people and, a few idiots that might light a car on fire, those are they don't speak for the people that are out there just marching and walking. A protest is supposed to be disruptive in a way to get attention. It doesn't need to be violent. But stop trying to act like it's riots. No. And for sometimes it might get like that. Unless you've really been oppressed, the means some people will go to, whatever. Let me play this for you guys. Okay? This is from a creator on TikTok. His name is Defiance13. Does anybody know who that is? I'm going to wait for a second to read some comments. Jerome, what's up, man? They didn't destroy downtown LA. Bro, Dennis Jerome Jr. They didn't destroy downtown LA. You're being so, like... Conquering foreign land has happened by all civilizations throughout time. Does that makes it right? What are you talking about? And everybody that's like, well, this is America. LA is fine. Most of it is fine. It's crazy. So anybody that's like, what I don't seem to understand is people are like, well, we wouldn't do that, and I couldn't go to Africa and work. I couldn't go to the Netherlands and just work and freeload. Listen, most of these people aren't freeloading off the system. They're paying taxes, and they're paying into Social Security that they can't even get, some of them. So the Social Security that your mom has right now, that your dad has, that your grandpa has, a Mexican, undocumented Polish person, whatever, paid the Social Security tax for your family, and they won't be able to get it. Let that sink in for a second. But no, we don't want them here. We don't want to kill the head of the snake, the big corporate entities. We want to take the little guy. We're all little guys. Why are we divided? Donald Trump has gold toilets. His sons are pricks. Donald Trump has an immigrant wife because he had the means and the money and the power that he was able to get documentation up for. The hypocrisy of some people on that side is loony. I will say this, the left, they're crazy too for different reasons, okay? But we're not here for that today. Defiance 13, spending money in economy as well. Most pay some sort of, Cerberus, I've seen you talk a few times. I think we're more aligned than you might think. And this isn't about left and right. It's right and wrong. It's integrity. It's basic human rights. It's doing something the way you say you're going to do it. And that's not happening right now. It's not happening. It's not. And it saddens me. It just does. It just does. And I'm going to keep this mustache because if I'm at Walmart and I'm working, and those other guys are out there, the Venezuelans and a couple of other Hispanic guys, and if ICE shows up and they try to come get me, I'm going live right away and I'm going to give them hell. I won't be disrespectful, depending on, but if they try to like assume, you know how many videos I've seen of people getting construction workers, roofers, and ICE is just asking them and detaining them without anything. They're just racial profiling. It's not okay. That's not okay. It's not okay to act like that. Like I was saying, people are like, well, we can't just go to Honduras and work. We can't go to Peru. I can't go to Mexico and work. The difference is this is America. Land of the free, home of the brave for all. All. Give me your weak. Give me your hungry. We have a Statue of Liberty that was given to us by France. And it's our best monument that we have in this fucking country. And we got a lot. And it's in New York. I've been to it. Been in it. Does that not stand it for anymore? Do you think your great-great-grandfather that came from Ellis Island, do you think he had documentation, all of them? No. The only reason that you say, well, we did it the right way, is because you don't know if you weren't there. You weren't there. And you were born here. No, your grandma or grandpa was born here, so they had a birth certificate. Everybody that came on Ellis Island from Ireland, from Italy, from parts of Europe, from whatever, they were not all legal in that sense. Times have changed, I get it. But they wanted the same thing. That was not that long ago. They wanted the same thing that these people want, that you want for your family. They want the same thing. ICE is arresting people at their court-appointed hearings when they're going to do the right thing. they're arresting them and deporting them. That's right. That's civil. That's not just. They're doing the right thing. They're trying to do the right thing. It's not easy for everybody to get the process. There's like 9 different ways. There's visas and this and 4-year sanctions. You can get married. It's not, the playing field's not the level, not the same for everybody else. Donald Trump's daddy had nut in his ball sack that came from rich nut blood. And that's the only reason Donald Trump has everything that he has. Luck. Not skill, not business acumen, luck. He was born into it, and his sons were even luckier. So if Donald Trump wanted to have some Russian whore maid, Melania, wherever she's from, Ukraine, Russia, whatever, if he wanted to have her but with some hillbilly in Kentucky, he wouldn't have been able to do it, or he would have had to done it, and it wouldn't have been as easy. We're divided. This is like haves and have-nots. And all these people, especially Southern people, and my boy Defiance 13 is going to say it eloquently. And I want you to stay for another 5 minutes. Model, whatever. Same thing. You get what I'm saying. I probably shouldn't have called it that. I do apologize. I get fiery. That was wrong. Nothing wrong with Melania. She's probably a lovely lady. You get my point. It's not the same. It's not as easy for everybody. Like, well, just get this, just get that. If every undocumented human being left America tomorrow, you'd be fucked. Who'd get your Mountain Dew? Who would pick your strawberries and tomatoes? Those would cost $60 because we ain't going to do it. The company ain't going to pay you. Oh, you're a white man now. You're a black man now. You're Puerto Rican. You're Irish. You got paid. Oh, now I'm going to pay you $40 an hour. No. Companies don't operate like that. We know that because we work for some of these companies that are crazy. Defiance 13. Everybody give me 5 minutes of your time. And actually, I'm sorry. Give Defiance 5 minutes of your time. Let me rewind it and let me hit this. Okay. Hold on.
Let it be recorded for whatever species finds this scorched slab of earth a million years from now and learns to read through radioactive glaze.
I'm going to start it over. Can you hear that? Somebody give me a thumbs up that you hear it okay. I'll wait. Many people are here legally working with a VC, you're right. A bit louder if possible. What's up, Pedro? Missed your live streams. Krista, it's kind of low. Okay, hold on. I think I had it up all the way, but I think I'll hold it closer to the phone. Tell me if this is a little bit better. I could scroll it back and whatever. Oop.
Let it be recorded for whatever species finds this scorched slab of earth a million years from now and learns to read through radioactive glaze, that in the year of our Lord 2025, the United States of America, that high-minded experiment in liberty and lunacy, entered the second reign of Donald J. Trump. The crown was not returned by vote alone, but by fear, fatigue, fraudulence, and the magnificent machinery of misinformation. And in the first 100 days of this revival tour of executive buffoonery, the nation was reminded that if history does not repeat itself, it damn well rhymes in a minor key. The first order of business naturally was vengeance, not against foreign powers or looming threats to the republic, but against dignity, decency, and the ghost of democracy itself. Executive orders were signed in a blur of swollen fingers and synthetic jubilation. Immigration was once again used as a wedge, cutting clean through the sinews of the Statue of Liberty's old promise. Environmental protections were gutted with the ferocity of a mobster clearing ledgers, and in a cruel twist of Orwellian comedy, the Department of Education began distributing pamphlets referring to slavery as involuntary relocation, while erasing mention of LGBTQ plus history and civil rights leaders not named Reagan or Thatcher. All of it happened fast. Fascism doesn't march anymore. It scrolls, it tweets, it signs things in gold ink with televised applause. It moves like an iPhone notification, and Americans, God bless us, we watched. Some in horror, some in glee, and most with numb caffeine-stained stupor, as the Constitution became a suggestion and the Bill of Rights just a nostalgia piece for bored high schoolers. But still there were daffodils. That's the damn thing. There were still daffodils. In Washington, Connecticut, and Little Rock, Arkansas, and Dayton, Ohio, those little yellow things pushed up through the crust like stubborn, laughing rebels. They bloomed under the same skies that bolstered lies and drones, and that's what we had the first 100 days. Beauty and bullshit in equal measure. Hope and horror holding hands like nervous lovers before a war. The protests began on day one, not with torches or fists, but with signs, songs, and soup kitchens. Women, men, children, old veterans in worn coats, teenagers with skateboards and poetry in their pockets, all took to the streets because while the president declared himself emperor by executive fiat and tried to criminalize dissent under the guise of order, America's better angels remember that disobedience is not only a right, it's a right. They marched in the rain, they danced in the snow, they organized potlucks and burned out old towns where factories once breathed, because even in hell, flowers grow. And the people wept, and they laughed, and they sang, and they stood their ground. The founding fathers would have lost their minds. Jefferson would have run to Paris. Franklin would have started printing anti-Trump pamphlets called Poor Donnie's Almanac. Hamilton would have challenged the bastard to a duel on the steps of Mar-a-Lago, and Washington would have burned the whole damn thing down and started over. These men were many things: hypocrites, slaveholders, radicals, but they knew tyranny when they saw it, and they didn't build a republic to see it auctioned off like a foreclosed casino in Atlantic City. So here we are, watching the same old tricks dressed in newer, shinier wrapping, watching the working class praise billionaires who sold their jobs overseas, watching families rip themselves apart over propaganda that turns neighbors into enemies, watching politicians talk about liberty while building bigger fences, better guns, and longer prison sentences for protesters and pregnant women. But we are not gone, not by a long shot. The joy still lingers in the corners of this crumbling house. You can find it in church basements where organizers pass around flyers and bowls of chili. You can feel it on the floor of punk rock shows and rural gymnasiums all across the Midwest. You can see it in the smirks of teachers who still sneak Howard's Inn into the curriculum. It is the joy of resistance, not the loud defiance of martyrs, but the quiet daily decision to do what's right, even when it's no longer legal. And that matters, because the thing about America is that it's always been two countries, one of power, privilege, and violent control, and one of rebellion, poetry, and freedom songs. The second one never really ruled, but goddamn if it didn't stir the soul. So let the first 100 days be remembered not just for the shameful executive orders or the cultish pageantry of faux patriotism, but for the stubborn hope that wouldn't die. Let them write about the daffodils and the child who held a cardboard sign that said, "Be kind or be quiet." The old women who smuggled contraceptives into red states and called it reverse evangelism. We are still here. The Republic may be in hospice, hooked to a ventilator of corporate interest and bleeding civil liberties out of every orifice, but the spirit that birthed it still kicks like hell under the sheets. Even if these tyrants want to kill that spirit, they'll have to chase it through every cracked sidewall, every school library, every dive bar, every protest song sang at midnight, because the thing they keep forgetting is this: people don't need permission, only a reason. And the first 100 days of this jackboot parade have given us more reasons than we ever asked for. And still the daffodils bloom. Defiant still death.
I know a lot of y'all aren't going to understand all that. You can watch it on the replay. He said a lot. It's hard. I had to listen to it 2 or 3 times to get everything in there that he was saying. But the point he's making, the point that, not the point, the message, what I have in my heart is they want us divided. And they, not just Donald Trump, okay? They want us divided. They want us fighting one another, like I said in the video yesterday or the day before. And they're winning, because that's what we're doing. We see people protesting and we call them lazy. Get a job. What are you protesting for? Why are you waving a Mexican flag? Go back. You don't have that same energy when somebody's waving an Italian flag, an Irish flag. You don't have that same energy. Why? I'm going to pause and I want you to think about that for a second. Why don't we have that same energy for them? You can't be proud to be Mexican but live in America? Because they don't disrespect our country. So Mexicans are disrespecting the country? But Italians didn't disrespect the country? Irish people don't disrespect the country? Vietnamese people don't? How what are you saying? What are you saying? All right, April, I don't know what to say. I love your support. I'm not trying to offend anybody. This is my channel, though. I talk about various things. You don't have to watch. There's no hate. There's no love lost. You don't have to watch if you don't like it, but you don't have to have all the comments just because you don't like this topic. But we're gig workers. We are a class below the people that we're looking up to. And they're crapping on people that do similar work that we do. That's how I feel. That's how I look at it. Both of my grandfathers served in the military. Thank you. I'm not anti-military. Maybe you forgot. Maybe you missed the beginning. It's fine. Roy says nobody is being crapped on. I have an undocumented friend who has now passed away. He lived in quiet life working to support his family and kids. He told me he grew up in a house with a dirt floor and no running water. So there's probably a lot of stories like that. Pedro's being 100% respectful. Please return the sentiment. No more DoorDash ever again for me. I'm outie. That's great, Nathan. I believe if someone doesn't like it here, then go back to your country. Burning the American flag is wrong. Yeah, I'm not for burning the American flag. I get it. Some people do that. I'm not for that either. Want to be very clear. This isn't that, but it's kind of like, I think what the news will show us, and that's part of the message here is they're trying to divide us. And if I can have a couple people like, oh, okay, he was going to send me a book on the island of Puerto Rico. Okay, he just Defiance 13. If you got TikTok, go check out Defiance 13. I think some of you right-leaning people would probably like him. You probably would. He stands for the working man, working class. He's Southern. He calls himself a good old boy. He's A2. But he sees what's happening is it's not okay. Appalachia, right? Is that what you're saying? Alpac? Yeah. People flee bad places, yeah. Literally, all of our great-grandfathers, great-great-grandfathers did that. So we're forgetting our own lineage and history and what this country is founded on. We're forgetting that. Sometimes I think I'm like talking to like kindergartners. sometimes I get upset at myself because I don't think I have enough smarts to convey what I have in my soul, you know, what I have in my heart and what I see with my eyes. And maybe I get upset at myself because I want to be helpful, you know, I do. But, and I've done that in my life with this channel a little bit and other things. I've met many of you guys in person. I try to do the best that I can. But with something like this, it's like, you know, it's, I don't know. It's crazy. And everything has got to be political, left and right. Oh, well, the lefts are all like this and the rights are all like that. No. The sheep are all like that. The leftist sheep are all like that. And the rightist sheep all say, bah, and they look up to their kings and gods. I don't follow anybody. I follow one. That's it. Ain't no God on this earth. Sometimes I think kindergarten's talking to me. That's really funny, actually. I like that. I'm kind of a kindergartner sometimes. Hey, you can buy out, isn't it? Listen, I know this stream's not for everybody. I had it in my heart. And at the end of the day, I am on a personal growth recovery journey. I don't go to bed with resentments, anything in my heart that I feel like I want to get out. I'm going to get it out. I'm not as worried about like the algorithm like I used to be and what people are going to think if they subscribe or not subscribe. Hey, I'll get my subscribers and they'll come organically. It is what it is. If I lose support for being myself and talking what's in my heart and trying to educate, then somebody will unsubscribe. But the one thing I know about YouTube is when people unsubscribe, they still watch. So I still get paid. It doesn't matter. I'm not worried about that. You know what I'm saying? So people think they hurt you with an unsubscribe. People that do that still watch because they want to see what the next video is. Trust me, I know. I've done it sometimes, you know, like I just think we're in a tricky place. You know, Cerberus said it pretty well. You know, in the 60s, it was rough. It was worse in some ways, but we're more asleep right now than we were in the 60s. We had more people willing to really go out on the limb for their causes back then. We don't have that as much now. And when we have it, they're looked upon as thugs and rioters. And that's just a few. That's not the many. It's not. And if y'all don't see this party today that cost $47 million to U.S. taxpayers as a ego birthday party, I'm sorry. I can't help you. I can't. I literally can't. And I'm so mad at the two-party system that we have because it's basically pinned us with some Kamala, whatever the hell her name was, okay? Against, I mean, the choices that we had were like some of the worst since 100-something years ago. It was bad. Red, what's up, girl? How you doing? You and Cray Cray, what up, what up, what up? I'm just kind of, you know, sharing some of my mind on here. And I don't know. I don't like it. Two things can exist at the same time. We need to have people document it. You know what I would do? Let me tell you what I would do. Some of y'all think this is funny. You go into places where you think there are suspected undocumented people, illegal aliens, whatever, and you go in there, okay, respectfully. Like a lot of these ICE raids have been actually very respectful. I've done a lot of research. Most of them, they're doing their job. I have nothing against ICE in that fashion, okay? I want to be clear because I think some people, I say something, they're like, oh, he's some left-wing nut and he's crazy. He's got Trump-Jerome syndrome. That's not what this is. Two things can exist at the same time. You don't have to follow one party with everything that they do. You could call shit out. That's part of the freedoms that we have here, the liberties that we have. The people, the men and women have fought for me to be able to go on live and be in a country where somebody's not knocking on my door and putting a black thing over my head. I'm grateful for that. But it doesn't mean we can't act civil. So when you go into places where people are suspected of whatever, now if you know that there's criminal activity going on, brothels, fentanyl dealers, sex trafficking, drug trafficking, rapists, murderers, right? You do your own. You don't need to wait for Donald Trump to get those people out. Obama did it. He did that. Over 10 million people deported during his term. And he did it quietly. We're supposed to, that's the country that we need to be. We need to do it tactfully. Not everything needs to be on the news, and that's what Donald Trump does. He wants the shot. He wants the glamour shot. He wants everybody to know what he did. It speaks to what we want. We didn't need that then. That wasn't that long ago. Anyways, so you go into these businesses, these homes, whatever, and you ask, well, where's this? Where's that? I need to see your I-9s for your employees. Oh, why don't they have I-9s? Who hired these people? Well, that's a $10,000 fine for every person. So those farmers, those meat packing companies, they should be getting hit with fines. I'm going to look into that to see if they are. They should. That's the law. We want law and order, right? So why is it somebody can hire somebody at a construction site or whatever else for cheap labor to benefit their business that's publicly traded or not, that then benefits other people, then benefits Donald Trump's pockets? Why can they get away with it without any repercussions, or maybe just a small fine on the P&L sheet, but then somebody gets their whole life turned upside down? So how about we hold those CEOs and those companies responsible first, but then also give these people that have been here for, hey, you've been here a few years. Okay, this is what you need to do to get your paperwork. This, and that. We're going to give you an opportunity right now to do that. And they've been doing that a little bit. But some of those people, and if you agree with this, I need you to leave the channel right now. If you think it's okay for somebody that is at a court-appointed hearing to get deported when they called them in, that's like bait and switch like that. That's crazy. That's court. There's a word for it. I lost my train of thought, but that's not okay. So what I would do is you give these people an opportunity to stay. And they don't need to leave right away. Continue to let them work and feed the economy, pay in the taxes. Because most of these people aren't criminals and rapists, but that's Donald J. Trump. That's what he does. He feeds off the weak and simple-minded people. Because most of the people that voted for him have some financial interest, their religious affiliation, and they're just automatically vote Republican because of that. You know what's interesting? Some people would say, hey, no abortions, none of that. Regardless of, nope, I don't care if you were raped, you got to keep the kid. So you could get into a woman illegally by rape, get her pregnant, and that baby is good. But somebody crosses a white line and a border, they got to go. That doesn't make any sense to me. So what you do is you get people the opportunity to stay. You do it in a moral way. You do it quietly. It doesn't need to be all this glitz and glam and all this and these raids and it doesn't need to be like, it does not need to be like that. This is America. The reason we can't go into other countries is because we are the best country. People want to come here because of consumerism and opportunity, and companies building billions and billions of dollars of wealth for their families and having employees to have opportunities. Most of the other world does not have that how we have it, and people want to come here. It's the land of the free and home of the brave. It's a place of opportunity. That's why people come here. That's why your great-grandfather came here. He was a human, was he not? Are these people not human beings? I'm already amped up. I got more amped up than I wanted to. I was going to have the StreamYard on and have the lives, but you know what? I knew that I wasn't confident that people that would come up would be able, I wanted to talk. Because if people come up, plus the StreamYard was messed up, but if people come up, it's a yelling match and nobody's hearing anything. Now, you were forced to hear my side. Anybody wants to make a video or start their own live, maybe I'll come join. We could do that. Not everything needs to be done here. Everybody has a platform. Everybody can have a voice. Everybody can have reason. I will be mailing. Anybody that wants to email me, I will mail you some literature to read. If you want to mail me something, you can mail me something. I'll be mailing people things. There's 108. I'll mail as many as I need to. If I need to spend $1,000 to purchase books and have them mailed to your house, I will do that. I'm saying that publicly. You guys hold me accountable for a lot of things. I would not say it if I didn't mean it. Everything that I've said I do on this channel. If I make mistakes, I admit them. I want to send people literature because people don't know history. Some do, some don't. And I don't know all. Send me some books. Send me some literature that's vetted, that's fairly done, and I will read anything. I'm ready to absorb knowledge. But what's happening right now is scary. It just is. So I think y'all want Roy to come up, and I thought about that. But that would make for good TV. But neither him or I are going to listen. I've done this with Roy before. He'll just yell. He'll have his right-wing stuff and the MAGA stuff, and all this. And it's not going to be a constructive conversation. It's just not. I know that. Because, I just know it. I'm passionate about. And listen, people can disagree on things. People can disagree. It's okay to disagree. We don't have to all agree on things. But I know some of the things I said today, I know some of y'all did not know, or you don't think about maybe sometimes. And there are some things I could watch later that I didn't know and I didn't think about. But at the end of the day, it's undocumented human being. That's not a leftist point. That's a fact. Because if we're so concerned about illegal, how many illegal things did you do today in your life, Roy? Dennis, Blazin, Krista, Yep, Michael, April, Pia, AMC, Biscuit Butt. How many illegal things? Is one more important than the other? Have you always filed your taxes on time in the right way? Have you ever gotten a speeding ticket? Have you ever hit a car with your hand? Have you ever been to jail before? Did you ever do anything illegal? Do you have back child support? Have you ever done anything illegal? And I'm not talking jaywalking because that's stupid. But have you ever done anything illegal? Should you go back to Russia? Is that where your grandpa's from? Poland, Irish? Should you go back? How many felonies does Donald J. Trump have? How many times did he file bankruptcy? How many times has he cheated on his wife? How many marriages has he had? How many sexual assault cases have been against him? But we want to get Martha picking tomatoes? I like that. I sneezed and didn't say excuse me. Not difficult to not break the law. Mostly I agree with that. But a lot of us have broken the law. But what we do here in this country a lot is we criminalize certain people for stupid things. And we don't criminalize the white collar crime the same way. We just don't. Come on, let's not kid ourselves here. Okay? Let's please not kid ourselves. Not to my knowledge. I didn't vote. Yep, we have to pay for breaking the law. I agree with that. I do agree with that. But I hope that the payment's going to be in a way that's due process. I do hope that that happens. I do. And like my man Defiance 13 said, these first 100 days and plus have been, the Constitution's been broken. Do y'all realize, let me stop and I'm gonna read comments. Do you realize parts of the Constitution have been broken by your president? Stop. Let me read. White collar crime so ignored. Do you guys realize that? The stash is breaking the law. Thank you. Well, did you know that the National Guard and the Marines that were deployed on U.S. soil without the state's approval? Did you know that that's not okay? Did you know that? Did you know that? Thank you for the $4.99. What car you drive, sir? I drive a GMC Acadia. Cerberus, they don't want to talk about that though. They don't talk about that. But do you realize that the National Guard and the Marines going on U.S. soil against American citizens is exactly what you guys that have the "Don't Tread on Me" flags is all about? But now those flags are gone. Because that's what happened in this last week. Do you understand that? Wrong, Roy. I don't know where you're getting that information. That's not how it happened. You're wrong. Maybe I should have Roy come up. He's wrong. He's wrong. This president just thinks he could just do whatever he wants. There's a constitution he's not following sometimes. I've had a good time in that. I don't know about y'all. If anything, for some of y'all, I was entertaining. Maybe I taught y'all something. Maybe you taught me something. I'm going to go back and look at the comments. I can't see them all. I would love to see people's responses, I'm definitely open to education. Are you? Are you open to education? April, I don't know what April's doing here. You don't have to be here, April. I love you. I actually do. I love all y'all, actually. I don't hate anybody. I don't dislike people. I might throw some jabs here and there, but like, that's just me. That's how I talk. It's in fun and in jest. I love all y'all. Like, literally, I do. I have to. That's how, like, I have to do that. I don't hate anybody. It's legal if there's a rebellion against the United States. Trump says there's a rebellion against the United States, therefore it's legal. That's not a rebellion, Mort. It's not a rebellion. But January 6th, what was that? Do you guys see the difference, the hypocrisy there? Do you guys want to go down that rabbit hole with me? Storm the cap. That's not a rebellion. But that is, make it make sense to me. Can somebody make that, can somebody connect the dots there? What's up, Ryan? How you doing, man? Amy, what's up? How are you? I appreciate that, sweet. Yeah, it's not about, I'm not like some left guy or a right guy. I'm just talking about what's happening. And if it leans one way, you can take it that way, and I respect it. But that's not what this is. I'm not trying to say it's like, I'm just talking about, if anybody was, it's not just about Trump. He's just the one doing it. If it was Kamala, I would be having the same live tonight. I would be having the same live. If she was doing something stupid, it doesn't really matter. Junebug, thank you. Applaud you for speaking your mind in an open and compassionate manner. Thank you so much. I wish I used it. I didn't use the StreamYard. And part of that is when I went live earlier, my intention was to bring people up, and I went live on the phone. And if you know, when you go YouTube live on the phone, there's no link you can share, and I didn't do it from the laptop. So that was my fault. Because the intention, But then when I got to the point of live, I was like, fuck, do I change it? And I didn't. And I decided I'll just go solo. And then I'll, so that was the intention. Because y'all know I go on panels. I've been on panels. I've had Roy on my show probably a dozen times, Roy, right? So it's never about, it's never about that. It's never about like not wanting to have it. But I thought, well, I kind of made a mistake how I set it up. I'm just going to rock solo. And then we can go on from here. I can set up another one maybe, another time. But I have it in my heart. I had to say it, and I do want to learn. I'm not against that. I'll admit when I'm wrong about something. I just, the way the things that are happening, I don't like it. That's my opinion. I don't like it. I don't think it's okay. It's not what he said he was going to do. It's not what many people voted for. And many people around this country protested today peacefully under that. Hey, this is where I didn't want this. This is where the rapers, where the drug dealers, like Martha picking tomatoes. That's who we're going after. Like, it doesn't make sense. We're going after people that are at their court hearing. That doesn't make sense, right? And that's a fact. That happened. Some of the people that they've probably gotten probably needed to go. I'm for that, 100%. But some of the people, they've made some mistakes. That's what I'm calling out. They made some mistakes. Okay? Donald J. Trump himself, 2 or 3 days ago, was like, yeah, the farmers, we got to take care of the farmers. We can't take their people. So some of the illegals are okay to be here, but some aren't. It doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? You can't pick and choose. Like if you're, it's crazy. Dennis Jerome with the $2. Military can protect federal buildings. Appreciate that. Thanks, man. But that's not what they did. That's not what they did. We have more military on U.S. soil than we do anywhere else in the world right now. That's not okay. It's weird. It's weird. Don't tread on me. Look it up. The reason we have the Second Amendment, foreign and domestic, protect, right? We have domestic issues right now, guys. We do. Some of y'all might want to see it, but we do. There are legal ways to come into this country. Absolutely, there are legal ways to come into this country. You are right. There are. Illegal is illegal. So, but Donald J. Trump said we got to do something for those people. So do you agree with him when he said that publicly on a podium? Or are you saying if you're illegal, you got to go 100%? Or is there a gray area, like I think, to get these people vetted properly and then like put in, it, because he said that himself. He said, because I think he got a phone call from deep pocket people that are Republicans saying, you just took half my people. What's going on here? I can't run my business now. So are you saying everybody that's illegal should go? Or Donald J. Trump came out of his mouth, we got to figure out something for them. Because most of the people that don't have documentation are hardworking people paying taxes, paying in Social Security that they'll never get. So which is it? That's my question. I'll stop and read comments. Appreciate the $9.99. Dennis is too broke to be. Dennis is trolling for $10? Thanks. Appreciate that. Roy and Pedro debate. No yelling, please, Roy. Roy, we should probably set it up. How do you want to do this? So he is willing to compromise and people still want to call him bad? I think the way he's doing it is bad. I think he regrets some of the things that have been done. I think Donald J. Trump sometimes can be too impulsive. Sometimes that works to the benefit. We need to be reactive, right? I don't want cities to burn down. I'm not that guy. Trust me, I'm not. We had riots in St. Louis, guys. When Michael Brown was killed years ago, I was like 10 years ago, we had serious, Ferguson was burning. I didn't like that. I didn't go down there and protest with them, and I didn't do that stuff. I get it. But sometimes when you're too impulsive, you make bad decisions. I think that's what he's doing. I think he's regretting some of it because of how ICE got, some members of ICE got geared up and just went in places blazing and assuming things. And I don't think it was done justly. That's my opinion. It's my opinion. Scott Hall, appreciate that. Yeah, I think we got to set some up because honestly, it was a mistake on my end when I set the live up. I did it on my phone and not the computer. I usually do it on the computer. And I did not realize I couldn't put the link in like that. The Insurrection Act is way overdue for overhaul. Yep. Home Depot. Michael Brown was trash. Ooh, Philip with the hot take. Hey, I didn't know him personally, you know. Do I think he should have been gunned down in the matter that he was? I don't. But was he a good, upstanding citizen? Didn't look like it, you know. And I'm not some like, listen, I'm not some like, I'm not left or right, guys. I'm not. I'm not. Trust me. There's a lot of the stuff on the left. I'm like, that's crazy. I just don't agree with it at all. Like a lot. Like a lot. I'm a hardworking dude. I believe men belong in men's sports. Women belong in women's sports. I'm not a feminist. I have 2 daughters. I believe, trust me, the left is too woke for me. But it's okay to be a little bit woke about some things. And that's what I wanted this conversation to be about tonight from me to you. We could be woke about some things socially, and it's okay. Because I'm a hardworking dude. I don't ask nobody for nothing. Nothing. I work for mine. I do what I got to do. I take care of my family the best that I can. And I do it every single day. I try to take care of y'all with content as much as I can. Information, real. Like, I work my ass off. I don't want no handouts. I don't want no assistance from the government. You know, the right talk about we want less government. But then Donald Trump is like ultra government right now with his actions, right? So I just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I want I don't want none of it. I want none. I'm real weird like that, y'all. Amy have not liked the Donald since the 80s. He used to be cool, right? Like Donald Trump used to be more cool. I don't know. For some people, he's cool now. I don't know. It's fine. Appreciate the $4.99, Geraldine. Thank y'all for the super chats tonight. I came for Gig Talk, and this is what I got, so I have to tell you my opinion. April, it's okay. You don't have. You can just watch just the gig stuff. You don't have to be here for that. But we're gig workers. We're on the bottom of the food chain, guys. I'm sorry. Most of us are. Not all. Most of us are on the bottom. I'm middle class. Some of y'all are maybe upper class. Most of us are middle or lower class. And I think the lower class is really being not thought about right now. That's how I feel. That's what I see with my eyes. I see it. Low class is your veterans that are homeless. Those are low class people. Service industry. Like people that do what we do. We have to stand together. They want us divided. We have to unite in some way. That's how I feel. That's what's in my heart tonight. I'm happy to see Mort here tonight. I know Mort from back in the day with William Anderson and Flex. Mort's a cool dude, man. I appreciate you supporting, man. Thanks for being here and checking it out and giving your thoughts on the gig economy and the videos. Mort's a cool dude, man. Real smart brother. It's just funny because like I don't know, it's just weird. Okay, is Roy going live? Hold on, what's going on here? Pedro, all them felonies that he got convicted. We haven't. SMG, what up? What up? Yeah, I don't think other people can't put links in the chat. You can't put links in somebody else's live. I don't think. Those service folks in Las Vegas are unionized, Pedro. Some are, I would imagine, depending on the state. I guess I don't know. I'm also not like a super pro. I'm not like a union guy. Never been in a union. My mom was. One of my grandfathers was, but I don't know. I just try to do what I got to do. I just don't want people. I don't know. This country's not what it is supposed to be. George Carlin, in some of his comedy skits, said it the best. George Carlin, for me, is one of the best logically minded comedians ever. He's in my top 3 of comedians. He's usually number 1. Like, there's a few others I like, but I love me some George Carlin. I just do. Some things he says, I'm like, I don't always like politically agree or socially, but most I do. I think George Carlin's hilarious, and he's right on the money with a lot of things. And he predicted these things 20 years ago, 30 years ago. He predicted it. And many others have too. I think I watched a 1980s porn with Pedro in it last night. Oh, Lord. You know what? I think I just need to go to Roy's. He's going to do it over there. I'll just go over there. Whoever wants to join, you guys want to go over there? We can have it out. Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing? Is that what you guys want? I'm not going to talk. I've said a lot. I would love to hear Roy's rebuttals to some of the things that I said. So if he can do that, I'll show up. I got no problem with that at all. I'll do it. I can give you 30 minutes before my girls come home. I could do that if you guys want that. All right, y'all. I'm going to end this live. I'm going to go over there.